What's up? I'm back again with another 10-minute talk thing. Wait, that's never gonna be 10 minutes because I keep talking for too long. Anyways, uh, CES versus RRQ, AP League of Legends Grand Final. We're gonna be talking about Game 5. So unfortunately, I'm using theater mode because, as you can see, full screen takes up too much space. So we're gonna be talking about this first Dragon and Rift Herald fight. And you might be like, Blaziken. Gwen is farming Herald, Kha'Zix is farming Dragon. How are they gonna fight? That doesn't make sense. Well, let's explain. So, a few important things to note here are 1. That Riven is bot lane. Riven has Black Cleaver. She has a uh, she has a longsword, so she's basically a quarter of an item up on this Yone who is top lane, and she's a quarter item up on everyone on the team, right? She has 4,200. Everybody else has about 4,000 on that team. The other thing to note is that it's Gwen and Lucian taking the Rift Herald, which means they're going to burn it down really fast by hitting the eye, and with the Lucian auto attacks and the Lucian passive, the Gwen snips, she's going to be able to get there and do a lot of damage very quickly. The other thing is you'll notice she went Gnasher's Tooth, not Riftmaker first, meaning that her auto attacks will come out quicker, and she'll be able to do a lot more sort of attacking and attack speed, getting the attack speed to go and hit a lot more, which means her snip will be up a lot faster. The other thing is, you can see that there are 4 members right here. You got the Gragas, you got the Fiora, you got the Orianna, and you got the Kha'Zix. But the CES team has Scuttle, which means that they have vision on whatever really is going on in Dragon Pit if the dragon gets pulled out. Right now, it should be out of vision by just maybe a little bit, but it might be in vision. It's kind of hard to tell since there's no. Usually the scuttle is pretty accurate, but it's kind of hard to tell. The other thing is you'll see that Galio has heroic entrance on cooldown, but Lux has ult. So let's sort of get into it. The other thing to notice, Marky went Conqueror, not something like the Electrocute. So there's maybe a little bit less damage. There. So let's start. We'll see that BMM jumps straight into the pit, but instead of going after the dragon, right? Like, let's look at this because a lot's gonna happen here. First, we see that the Rift Herald, it's at like 41 to the dragon's 32, so it's getting burned down pretty fast. But BMM, right? He has vision over Chaz. You can see right here, they've got the little eyes, which means that they can see Chaz, which means 2 things. 1, it means that Kha'Zix's passive is not going to be up, right? Kha'Zix deals a lot of damage using his passive Unseen Predator. Because his Unseen Predator isn't up, it means that BMM has the ability to sort of get in a lot safer. Even though Hyde and Chaz are in there, with his mobility, he can sort of avoid skill shots, and with the Lux ult, he can sort of get a stun, and that'll do a lot of damage, especially on Chaz, which is what he's going to aim for, right? So as you can see, he basically ignores Hyde, and he ignores the dragon, and he goes straight on to Chaz. Even though Hyde starts hitting on him really hard, he's doing a lot of damage, he's proccing all these vitals, look at how fast Chaz's HP disappears. Because of how BMM plays this. He's a level up, and he's still got that like quarter of an item, right? He's got that extra 12 AD to do a lot of damage to Chaz. So you see Chaz leaps away, right? Which is very important cooldown. You gotta keep in mind those cooldowns, right? That's about a 12-second cooldown. So that means that about 5:30, Chaz will be able to escape again. But BMM doesn't want to let him live that long. So BMM uses his ultimate here. He uses dash again. He uses his stun and another dash and kills Chaz. But if you look at BMM's health, he's basically dead. But what this lets him do, and he gets killed, but what this lets him do is it lets him kill the kill the jungler so that they have a chance to contest this dragon. It doesn't work out, but it's a really cool play that a lot of Chinese teams are doing. And the reason for this is like if you kill the jungler, if the jungler can get down fast enough, right, that means that you have a chance to double objective them without having to actually fight for both objectives, right? If you're an NA viewer, you'll see a lot of times they'll go for that early contest onto the Rift Herald or onto the Dragon, right? Depending on whichever the team goes for it. However, this is sort of the adaptation to trading, right? Where we see a lot of teams trade in NA, right? Like sometimes they'll fight, sometimes they'll trade. When we see trades, this is sort of the adaptation. You can take this high risk play if you feel like you're able to get ahead with it. And if you trade mid for jungle in this scenario, it's fine because you don't need your mid laner to win the team fight. You have a lot of damage on Genza, on Meliodas, on Y1, and Duckby is still there tanking. Meanwhile, the RRQ side doesn't have their jungler to force that smite fight. So, that was about it. 6 minutes. Getting the time down. Have a great day.